ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रीमेधादक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। Namaste once again everyone.
Namaskaram,
Namaste,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Guruji.
Namaste.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste. So we are seeing this Pariksha Lokan mantra. Been going for last few classes, and that shows the importance of this mantra. And Bhashyakara has also written quite a detailed bhashyam of this mantra. So we will read the mantra. Okay.
Mantra number. I was absent last class.
12, number 12.
1 to 12. 1 to 12.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Got it?
I'll just scroll down.
Yeah.
10, 11.
Yeah.
1 to 12.
12.
Yes. Tapaha.
Pariksha Loka. First Mundaka, second section, 12th mantra.
Yes, Guruji. Pariksha Lokan, Karma Chitta.
Yeah. That's okay. So
Thank
you'll
you.
chant. Pariksha Lokan,
Pariksha Lokan,
Karma Chitan,
Karma Chitta.
Karma Chitan,
Brahmanaha,
Brahmanaha.
Nirvedamayat,
Nirvedamayat,
Nasti Akritaha,
Nasti Akritaha,
Kritena,
Kritena,
Tadvijnanartham,
Tadvijnanartham,
Sa Gurumeva Bhigachet,
Sadgurumeva Vigachet,
Samitpanihe,
Samitpanihi,
Shrotriyam,
Shrotriyam,
Brahmanishtam.
Brahmanishtam.
And we will also chant the sentence of Bhashyam which we were discussing in the last class. Okay, towards the end of last class. Sarvam tu
Sarvanto,
karmam anityasya karmam anityasya eva
Anityasya eva,
Sadhanam
Sadhanam
Yasmat
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 Chaturvidhameva
Chaturvidhameva
Hi
Hi
Sarvakarma Karyam
Sarvakaryam
Sarvakaryam
Utpadhyam
Utpadyam
Utpadyam
Apyam
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 Samskaryam
Samskaryam
Karyam
Vikaryam Va
Vikaryam
Karyam
Va
Va
Natah Param
Natah
Param
Karmanah
Karmanah
Manaha
Visheshosti.
Vishishosti
Vishishosti.
Good. So this section 2 of the first Mundaka is dealing with the pros and cons of Aparavidya as a means for moksha. We must remember that all that is being talked about Aparavidya is in the context of moksha and not a general assessment of Aparavidya for other purposes, namely for attaining the three Purusharthas, Artha, Kama, and Dharma. And therefore, this section of the Upanishad is relevant only for mumukshus and not to others who are steeped in material pursuits. So the efficacy of Aparavidya as such is not in question, but only its efficacy in delivering moksha is being highlighted. And this fact should be very well understood by all. And the reason why it is said that Aparavidya is not a means for moksha is because moksha is understanding and assimilating the fact that one is by nature Purnaha, fulfilled and limitless. If that be so, there should be no reason for any human being to feel limited and incomplete and undertake such vain pursuits in order to achieve that Purnatvam. But in actual experience, that does not happen because of avidya, ignorance of the fact that one is already Purnaha, and also because of kama, desires, which arise as a result of feeling incomplete, and the consequent karma one performs, the action one performs to gain that completeness. And it is the endless struggle that a human being suffers in the process, which is the root cause of all grief and sorrow, which is otherwise called samsara. And the reason karma or action is not a means to moksha is because karma itself and also the results of karma are impermanent, anityam, whereas moksha is nityam, permanent and eternal. And this is what Bhashyakara is highlighting in this sentence that we are discussing. Why do we say all karmas are anityasya eva sadhanam? Bhashyakara says, yasmat, because since on close scrutiny we can find out that all karma phalam will come under only four categories. Chaturvidhameva hi sarvam karma karyam. What are those four categories? Utpadhyam, Apyam, Samskaryam, Vikaryam va, Sarvam Karma Karyam. So Sarvam Karma Karyam means all products of karma, all results of karma. That is karma phalam. They are Chaturvidhameva hi. He means indeed. Chaturvidham means four types. eva only. So all results of karma are of four types only. What are they? He says utpadhyam. Utpadhyam means anything that is produced in time, which includes our own physical body as well as the entire environment. All of them are utpadhyam. And this result is limited in nature. Because we have already seen so many times, even in the Gita, whatever is produced in time will perish in time. Jatasya hi dhruvor mrityuhu. So that is one type of results which is impermanent. What is born, what is produced will eventually perish. The second one is apyam. For example, one of the results of karma is swarga prapti that we have seen earlier. Reaching swarga and enjoying the life there. Even though this result may somewhat look like nityam, because the stay in swarga could last for a very long period of time, still it is anitya phalam only. Chine punye martyalokam vishanti. So this is apyam. So even achievement of swarga is impermanent only. Then the third one is samskaryam. Samskaryam means purification. Our shastras talk about so many samskaras. We have 41 samskaras in our tradition. Starting, even Upanayanam is a samskara, Vivaha is a samskara, Garbhadhanam, Pumsavanam, Simanto Nayanam, Chaulam, Jatakarma, Namakarma, Annaprashana. As I said, Upanayanam, Vivaha, all are samskar. Like that, 41 samskaras are to be performed from the time of birth till the time of death. Even on death, the body is confined to the fire, which is called Dahana Samskara. Even marriage, as I said, is a purification samskara. Because through marriage, we enter Grihastha and we become entitled to do all the karmas to fulfill karma, to fulfill our artha, kama, and dharma purusharthas. And in the process, of performance of karmas, it leads us to karma yoga, which is the means for purification of the mind, chitta shuddhi, which prepares us for the next stage, the next ashrama, and also for jnana yoga. Therefore, even marriage is a samskara, a purification of karma, and therefore, in the third type, I don't produce anything, I don't reach anywhere, but I do all samskara karmas which purifies me. Even sannyasa is a samskara only meant for purification. So the third one is samskaryam. Mere purification, even purification of my antakaranam, will not lead to moksha, even though this purification is one of the results of the karmas that we perform. And the fourth one is vikaryam. Vikaryam means modification of one padartha, one thing into another. Can you note the difference between purification and modification? In purification, there is no change in substance, only impurity is removed. Whereas in modification, one thing is converted into another. So when one thing is converted into another also is not a means for moksha, but it is a part of actions, a part of karma. So these are the four types of karma phalam, and all of them are anityam. That is why again we have to do samskara in the next janma. Again you are born jata karma, nama karma, chaulam, upanayanam, annaprasana, everything has to again repeat. Janma after janma keep on repeating. So sarvam karma karyam utpadyam apyam samskaryam vikaryam va. And none of the four na atav param karmana vishesha asti. In fact, other than these four, there are no other specific result for karma. And unfortunately, moksha doesn't come under any of these four. In fact, Sureshwaracharya, Bhashyakara's Shishya, in the text Naishkarmya Siddhi, defines moksha as ajnana nivrittihi, which doesn't come under any of these four. So all this was about the nature of karma and karma phalam. And now Bhashyakara presents the contrast. We will read. Aham cha.
Aham cha.
Pancha.
Once more. Aham cha.
Aham
Aham
cha.
cha
Nityena.
Vidyena.
nityena
Amritena.
Amritena.
amritena
Abhayena.
Abhayena.
abhayena
Kuthastena.
Kutasthena.
kutastena
Achalena.
Achalena.
achalena
Dhruvena.
Dhruvena.
dhruvena
Arthena arthi.
Arthena.
arthena
Arthi.
arthi
Na tad viparitena.
Natat
natad
viparitena.
viparitena
Ataha.
Ataha.
Kim kritena.
Kim
kim
kritena.
kritena
Karmana.
Karmana.
Ayasa bahulena.
Ayasa bahulena.
bahulena
Anartha sadhanena.
Anartha sadhanena.
sadhanena
Ityevam.
Ityevam.
evam
Nirvinnaha.
nirvinnaha
Good. So as we have seen that karma can give any one of the four types of results. Utpadya, apya, samskarya, vikarya, and all of them are anitya. Karma cannot give any result other than these four, and all these four are impermanent. Whereas aham cha, I am, and I am arthi, I am desirous of something which is nityam, which is eternal, which is amritam, which is immortal, which is abhayam, free from all fear or insecurity, which is ever secure, kutastha, which is changeless, achala, which is free from all movements, which is all pervading, Dhruvena, which is permanent, Arthena means Purusharthena. That is, that Purushartha I seek. I do not seek Kama Purushartha, not Artha Purushartha, not even dharma purushartha, but I am actually seeking only moksha purushartha. So arthena means purusharthena, aham arthi. I am a seeker. I desire. I am a desirer. So I am a seeker characterized by such a seeking. In short, I am not interested in karma phalam. I am desirous of that goal which is nitya, amrita, abhaya, etc. Na tad viparitena. I am not desire of something opposite to this, means I am not desire of something which is anitya, martya, sabhaya, vikari, chalayamanaha, adruvaha. I am not desirous of all these things. I am not interested in the impermanent. So, up to this is the commentary of Nasti Akritaha. Detailed commentary. Bhashyakara explains how you have to understand the word Nasti Akritaha in the Mula. And then he says, why? Ataha, because I am not interested in karma phalam, therefore, kim kritena karmana. Kim means what? Here Bhashyakara uses the word kim to mean kim prayojanena. So in fact, as per grammar rule, those who are interested in grammar, this kim is used along with the verb. When it is used along with the word is put in third case, tritiya vibhakti. Then it takes the meaning kim prayojanena, for what purpose. In fact, there is a beautiful stotram composed by Bhashyakara called Shiva Aparadha Kshamapana Stotra. And there is this following verse in that. It's a beautiful verse. Kim vanena dhanena vajakaribihi praptena rajyena kim va putra kalatra mitra pashubihi dehena gehena kim ज्ञात्वैतक्षणभङ्गुरं सपधिरे त्याज्यं मनोधूरतः स्वात्मार्थं गुरुवाक्यतो भजमन श्रीपार्वतीवल्लभम्. So this verse is a beautiful example of the usage of the word kim with all words in the third case. Whichever comes with kim comes in the third case. So in this shloka, the bhakta is addressing his own mind. It's a sort of an introspection. I will not go into the detail. The short meaning of this shloka is, O mind, of what purpose are wealth and horses, elephants, or even a kingdom? Of what avail are children, spouse, friends, or this body, or even a house? Know all these to be momentary and quickly shun them. And the last line, the mind is told, worship Shiva as your Guru instructs for your swatmartham, for attaining self-knowledge. So here the word kim is used in the sense of what purpose or of what avail. Kim prayojanena. And that is why, of course I've said this earlier also, when we study the Bhashyam, it is not just the meaning of the words of the mantra. Many aspects of the Sanskrit grammar are also revealed or refreshed. So it's a parallel thing, you Sanskrit grammar also, if you know Sanskrit grammar, your knowledge is getting improved. Because who can be a better teacher of Sanskrit than Bhashyakara himself, isn't it? So it's all very enriching, Bhashyam study is very enriching. Of course, two conditions. One must have a keen interest, not only in the subject matter of the text, but also in polishing one's own knowledge of Sanskrit grammar. Because even when you study Sanskrit grammar, also the teacher will teach you all these rules. You may even learn Ashtadhyayi rather. All these rules are contained in that Ashtadhyayi. But what happens unless you read a text or you go through a text which is having a practical application of those rules, the rules will not stay in your mind. Over a period of time, you will forget those rules. And that is why when you study the Bhashya, many of those rules you can refresh rather. Anyway, this is all just aside. So this person is asking, what is the purpose of my doing the karma when I am not interested in the results of karma? So in this manner, this person becomes dispassionate towards karma phala. Mainly he is detached, or I can say dispassionate to karma phala. He developed vairagyam towards karma and karma phala. And there is a rule that sadhya ichcha sadhanam upasankramati. This is a nyaya, rule in Nyaya Shastra. The desire for the end, sadhya ichcha, will be transferred to the desire for the means, sadhanam upakramati, upasamkramati. So when I have a desire for some end, some achievement, some goal, then the desire will be upasankramati, will be transferred to sadhanam, to the means to achieve that goal. So a desire gets transformed into action. If hunger removal is my desire, hunger removal is sadhyam. Then what is sadhanam? Food is sadhana, eating food is sadhana. If I am interested in money, that is my sadhyam. Therefore, whatever gives money, like a job, a business, all those becomes the object of my desire. So my desire for the end gets converted into my desire for the means. And that is what is meant by sadhya ichcha sadhana upasankramati. And once the desire for the end goes away, then the desire for that means also will go away. Because a person is really not interested in the means. A person is only interested in the end, in the goal. But the end cannot be achieved without the means. Therefore, we become interested in the means. Once the desire for the end goes away, one will not have the desire for the means also. So a person was interested so far in karma phala. Therefore, he was interested in karma. Now the desire for karma phala has gone away. And therefore, desire for the means, that is the karma, also will go away. He will develop vairagyam for karma and karma phalam. As I've already said, vairagyam is to outgrow the need for something in life as you find it no longer relevant for what you want to achieve. Pujya Swamiji defines Vairagyam in a very beautiful way. He says normally people think that Vairagyam means disgust with the world, getting chukupsa, getting hatred, dvesha, etc. But that is not Vairagyam which Vedanta talks about. Pujya Swamiji says that seeing that there is no connection between what I am doing and what is my real goal in life is, and then changing my attitude towards that in which I am not interested is Vairagyam. Swami Paramathanandaji gives a very nice example. He says it is like standing in the bus stop for going somewhere for which you have to take, say, route number 23A. So, when you are waiting for a particular bus, according to Murphy's law, all other buses will come except the bus you want. And you wait patiently. And when the other buses come and go, what is your bhavana? What is your attitude? You don't hate the other buses. Your attitude is neither of raga nor dvesha. Basically, you are indifferent. Similarly, a Vedantic seeker allows all karmas to go past him. He has neither raga nor dvesha. This is called here Vairagyam. In fact, Ramuji had sent me a nice anecdote after the last week class, and I would like to share it with you. It seems Socrates used to visit the shopping mall every day, wherever he lived. Look at all things on display. That is to do window shopping and then go back. This went on for months together. Every day he will religiously go do window shopping but would not buy anything. So one day, one of the shopkeepers got curious and asked Socrates, I see you every day coming here, looking at all these things on display, but you don't buy anything. It is very strange. To this, Socrates replied, I come every day to see what all things I can live without. And that is why I don't buy anything, because all those things which are on display, I find that I can live without all of them. Therefore, Vairagyam is what? Progressively reducing your dependence on material things. Eventually, what one requires is food, clothing, and shelter. And of course, accompanied by physical and emotional, physical and intellectual activity. Therefore, in this shloka, the seeker is asking himself, Karmana kim prayojanam, what is the benefit? What is the karma going to do to me? Is the question the seeker asks himself. Especially when that karma is ayasa bahulena, which is full of effort, exertion, strenuous, and anartha sadhanena, which is a means or which is something which is leading to anartha, adversity, which in turn leads to sorrow. So all these are commentary upon the word kritena, which occurs in the mantra. So in all this discussion, we must not forget in what context Bhashyakara is saying all these things. So he says, Ityevam, in this manner, thus having attained Vairagyam, Nirvinnaha. Nirvinnaha means nirvedam praptaha, having become dispassionate, having become detached. So nirvinnaha means the one who is dispassionate. In fact, the word nirvinnaha has also the meaning of being disgusted with, having some sort of a dejection attitude, having some hatred, etc. In fact, if you see the dictionary, you will get all these meanings. But here, in the context of Vedanta, nirvana means vairagyavan, the one who has seen the limitations of karma phalam and therefore is not desirous of pursuing them. He becomes objective in his approach. Then what does he do? Bhashyakara explains, we will read the next sentence. Abhayam
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 Shivamakritam
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 Nityam Padam Yat
Nityam
Nityam
Padam
Padam Yat
Tad Vijnanartham
Tadvijnanartham
Vijnanartham
Visheshena
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 Adhigamartham
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 Saha
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 Nirvinnaha Brahmanaha
Nirvinnaha Brahmanaha
Gurumeva
Kurumeva
Acharyam
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 Shamadamadayadi Sampannam
Yadi Sampannam
Samadhamadayatisambannam
Abhigachet.
Abhigacchit
Abhigacchit.
So here Bhashyakara is now commenting on the last quarter of the mantra. Tad Vijnanartham Saha Nirvinna Saha Gurumeva Abhigachet. And having got Vairagyam, Saha, that person, Abhigachet, should approach Gurumeva, the teacher alone, Tad Vijnanartham, for knowing that Nityam which he is interested in. So he already has Vairagyam for Anityam, since he has now come to know that karma cannot give Nityam. After all, Pariksha Lokan, he has come to the firm conclusion. So thus, having Vairagyam from Karma Kanda, he enters Jnana Kanda. And what is the subject matter of Jnana Kandam? Chaturvida Karma Phala Vilakshanam. Something which is beyond the fourfold Karma Phalam, which we saw a little earlier, Utpadyam, Apyam, Samskaryam, Vikaryam. What is that? Bhashyakara says there is a goal which is beyond these four Anitya Karma Phalam, which is Abhayam, Shivamakritam, Nityam, Padam Yat. And that goal is Abhayam, which is ever secure. How is that? Because as long as you have something which you can lose, there is a sense of insecurity. All my possessions are subject to loss, and therefore I am insecure with regard to those possessions. My physical body is also subject to loss, therefore I am insecure with reference to my physical body also. My health is also subject to loss, therefore insecure. Therefore, what cannot be lost, that alone is security. And what is that? Atma alone. Atma alone can never be lost. Consciousness can never be lost. And therefore, that Atma, that consciousness alone is Nityam. And therefore, he comes to the conclusion that I cannot find satisfaction without discovering, without attaining that Nityam. And therefore, for knowing that Nityam, he goes to the teacher. And here, Nityam also stands for limitless. So, limited cannot satisfy me. I am seeking limitless, and that limitless is not an object. It can't be an object. It can't be a result of karma. Then how can I get to that Nityam? There is only one possibility, and that is maybe that Nityam is my very nature. But is that right? I do not think so. I am not finding myself to be limitless. Somebody please mute your, some sound is coming. All of you please mute. Therefore, let me understand what this Nityam is and how I am connected to this Nityam. And therefore, Tad Vijnanartham, for knowing that, he goes to the teacher. And Bhashyakara introduces Tad Vijnanartham by connecting with the previous one, Abhayam Shivam Akritam Nityam Padam Yat. Yat means which. So that which is Padam, the goal, which is Abhayam, free from fear, free from insecurity. Shivam, which is Mangalam. Mangalam implies here Ananda Swarupa. Akritam. Akritam means that which is not a product, and therefore Nityam. It is permanent, timeless, eternal. So, this goal which I am interested in, I am not interested in karma phalam, but I am interested only in jnana phalam. Now, someone may ask, does not jnana kanda also involve karma? Because the Shastra says, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, and performance of various sadhanas are all karmas only. And therefore, results of these should also be considered as karma phalam only. Very, very valid point. And in fact, this particular point is elaborately discussed in Naishkarmya Siddhi. But we will be going away from the topic if we discuss it in this context. We will get an opportunity to discuss the topic sometime in future. For the present, we need to just know this much. Jnanam pursuit does not come under karma. So Shravanam is not a karma, Mananam is not a karma, Nididhyasanam is not a karma, understanding is not a karma. Even though they seem to be karma, they do not come under karma. This much you understand. Because if we go into it, there's a very detailed discussion. Actually, in fact, why jnana karma cannot, jnana phalam cannot be equal to the karma phalam. It is a topic by itself. So this much you take it, that jnana phalam, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam cannot be equated to the karma of karma kanda. Now let us revert to the main topic under discussion. Tad Vijnanartham. This word Tad Vijnanartham is a compound word. The derivation is Tasya Vijnanartham Tad Vijnanartham. For knowing that will be the literal translation. And what is that? That is Akritaha. So Tad Vijnanartham means akritasya nityasya vijnanartham. So for the knowledge of that which is abhayam, shivam, akritam, nityam, padam, for knowing that which is in the form of fearless, auspicious, non-product, permanent goal, for knowing that you should go to a teacher. And Bhashyakara explains the word Vijnanartham as Visheshena Adhigamartham. Visheshena means specifically. And here, specifically means completely, is in the sense of completely. Knowing it as oneself, for getting aparoksha jnanam of that, not paroksha jnanam. Knowing Brahman or knowing limitless as something being there, as an object being there, that is Brahma Asti, such a jnanam is called paroksha jnanam, which we generally will call simple jnanam. And knowing that Brahman I am, Aham Brahmasmi, is called aparoksha jnanam. So Vijnanam means for knowing aparokshataya. So here Visheshena means aparokshataya, means knowing directly, knowing immediately, knowing intimately. It should not remain only as a piece of information. I should be able to see it very clearly. Adhigamartham means for the purpose of knowing. So Visheshena Adhigamartham means for the purpose of knowing it specifically and completely. Therefore, when you say I am the Nitya Vastu, it is called Aparoksha Jnana. That is why in Bhagavad Gita also there is a chapter we have seen, Jnana Vijnana Yoga, 7th chapter. So there Jnanam means Paroksha Jnanam and Vijnanam means Aparoksha Jnanam. When we say Brahman is Nityam, it is Paroksha Jnanam. But when we say Tat Nityam Brahman Aham Asmi, that is Aparoksha Jnanam. And that is the culmination of spiritual pursuit. So Tad Vijnanartham. Saha means that person. And that person means which person? Nirvinnaha Brahmanaha. That sattvic person who is Nirvinnaha, who is dispassionate towards karma and karma phala, who is dispassionate towards all material things. In other words, the one who is having Purushartha Nishchaya. In fact, Puja Swamiji says, Saha refers to a person who has clear Purushartha Nishchaya. He knows what he really wants. And he knows what it can give and what it cannot give. And that person is referred to as Saha here. So the person who has got clarity about the means and the end, that is Brahmanaha. In other words, in the language of Tattva Bodha, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha Brahmanaha. The person who is endowed with necessary qualifications. Such a person, Guru Meva Abhigachet. Bhashyakara explains the word Guru as Acharyam. The word Guru, as we all know, means a teacher. Why a teacher is called a Guru? Again, there is a sloka which defines a Guru. It is a Laukika explanation, not a Shastric explanation. The sloka runs like this. Gukarastvandakaro vai rukarastan andakara nivartitvat guru ityabhidhiyate. Andhakara means darkness. Nivartaka means remover. So here darkness stands for ignorance. Because he is a remover of the darkness of ignorance, he is called Guru. Guru ityam itya abhidiyate. So Guru means teacher. And another word for the teacher is Acharya. And Acharya is the one who achinoti cha shastrani achare stapayatyapi. Swayam acharate yasmat tasmat acharyam uchyate. Acharya is one who is achinoti, collects. Shastrani, the Shastras, means one has got access to the meaning of the Shastra, different Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, etc. The one who collects different Shastras mean while explaining any sentence, he has got the vision of the entire body of Vedanta. And he brings the vision of the Shastra to the student. Then Acharya Stapayatyapi. And he is making it relevant to the life of the Shishya. He guides the Shishya to abide in the Shastra. And Swayam Acharate Yasmad. Because he does not merely preach the scriptures, but he himself practices what he preaches. He walks the talk, as they say. Because he lives the teaching himself, he sets an example for the students. Tasmad, therefore, Acharyam Uchyate. He is called Acharya. And this is said with reference to Dharma Shastra. We can apply it with reference to Vedanta also, rather. In Vedanta, practicing Vedanta means living the vision through the life. That is called practicing Vedanta. In fact, Pujya Swamiji has written a very nice, he has given a talk and later on it is, I think, published also as a book, bringing Vedanta to day-to-day problems. So bringing Vedanta into one's life means that the vision of Vedanta gets reflected through one's life. That is called practicing Vedanta. So we should not think that just as we have got theory and practice in physics, chemistry, etc., similarly we will study the theory and then afterwards practice. There is no such division in Vedanta. Only the vision is reflected to one's life. And in the context of Vedanta, such a person is called Acharya. So tad vijnanartham saha gurumeva abhigachet. That person, that nirvinna brahmana, should go to such a guru. And Bhashyakara summarizes all the qualifications of the guru or acharya by saying Shamadama Dayadi Sampannam. So the acharya should be Sampannam. Sampannam means endowed with, possessed of, Shama, Dama, Daya, etc. He should have mastery over his mind, his sense organs, and also, most importantly, he should be compassionate. And he said Dayadi. So in Adipada, we can include all other qualifications of sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. All these qualifications which this guru had as a Sishya, now as a guru or acharya, he continues to have that wealth, which are now converted into this vision of Aham Brahmasmi. Bhashyakara mentions one more qualification which we generally do not talk about while describing sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, and that is daya, compassion. Because then only he will teach. If you do not have compassion towards the student, Acharya will not take the trouble of conducting the classes, reading up, preparing for the classes and all, and teaching. So Acharya, for an Acharya, compassion, ahetuka daya sindhu, is described as ahetuka daya sindhu. He is not going to get anything out of the teaching. And therefore, the only reason for teaching is compassion and nothing else. Otherwise, he has got vision and he has no reason to teach. Of course, he has no reason not to teach also, both ways. So he can remain neutral. And this neutral situation is given leverage by this daya, and therefore he teaches because of daya, of compassion. His attitude is, I have gained what I wanted, and therefore let others also who want moksha gain in a similar manner. And another important qualification a teacher requires is titiksha, which we talk about in sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. Tons of patience. Teacher requires a lot of patience because learning process is not that fast, especially in the initial stages. So a lot of patience is required both on the part of the teacher and on the part of the student. And over and above, the teacher has to listen to all difficulties of the Shishya. And some Sishyas will be elaborately presenting their problems. Those problems could be personal problems, nothing to do with Vedanta. But because of the compassion, because of the titiksha, the Guru listens to all that patiently. So both compassion and patience are required for a Guru. In fact, if the teacher is not patient, then this teaching will not be effective. Because many times the teacher will have patiently explained a particular topic, and he will find that some students have not understood it properly. So he will repeat the same topic again and again and again so that the students understand it very well. So a Vedanta teacher's approach is not like the approach of a school teacher or a college teacher. For them, they have got certain portion, they have to just teach that and go away, period. Whether the students understand, don't understand, nothing. Vedanta teacher is not like that. In fact, the teacher's approach is that the student who is the slowest in understanding should not be left behind. And therefore, dayadi sampannam. And to such a teacher, abhigachet, one should approach. A brahmana who is nirvinna, who has got vairagyam, should approach the teacher who is shama, dama, daya, etc. sampannam. So the previous word guru meva has got eva in it. Now Bhashyakara is explaining the significance of that word eva. Eva means alone. That is guru meva abhigachet means one should go to a teacher alone. Even without that eva, the sentence would have made sense. One should go to a teacher. That should have been enough. But why is the Shruti adding eva? Bhashyakara points out the significance in the next sentence. He says, and we will read, all of you unmute. शास्त्रज्ञः अपि
शास्त्रज्ञः
शास्त्रज्ञः अपि
अपि
स्वातन्त्र्येण
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 ब्रह्मज्ञानान्वेषणं
ब्रह्मज्ञानान्वेषणं
न कुर्यात्
न
कुर्यात्
कुर्यात्
इत्येतत्
इत्येतत्
गुरुम् एव
गुरु एव
एव
इति
इति
अवधारणफलम्.
अवधारणफलम्
फलम्.
Very good. We will stop here and continue with this sentence in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavada everyone.
Thank you very much,
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
Guruji.
ಗುರುಜಿ.
Namaskaram.
Thank you.
Namaskaram, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaste.
Thank
Pranam.
you.
Hari Om, Guruji. Thank
Hari
you.
Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guruji,
Yes,
next
Sita.
Monday, Republic Day, so it is not an impediment. We will continue class as
Yeah,
such.
yeah, yeah. Class will not stop if it is evening class only, no.
That's why I
But
said.
there is some very unavoidable circumstances, classes will go on.
Oh.
Yeah, that's okay. Yes, Sitaramji.
Yeah, the Shiva Stuti which you mentioned was one of my father's favorites. Every day it used to be, I used to be hearing it.
Yeah.
After very long, after his passing away, this today I have heard.
Okay. Okay, okay.
So
Yeah, it's
reminded
a very
of-
very beautiful sloka, in fact.
So his stuti will start at 4 o'clock in the morning and go on till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Aparada Kshama Prarthana, it is.
Yes.
For whatever adharmic things I have done, I am seeking Kshama, pardon. It's a beautiful sloka.
So I just wanted to share with you.
Right.
Thank you.
Good. Any other question? Yes, no hands are going up. So I guess there is no doubt, no questions. Right, then we will continue in the next class. Okay. Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.